That's good.
So hi everybody, how are you all?
Good? Yeah, you?
Good.
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, nice to see you. We'll just wait for Susie to jump on.
Okay.
How was the house, Sue?
It's all right, yeah. It's very clean and tidy, like really like spotlessly clean and perfect. It like had the dining room table all like laid out with all wine glasses, and it was like big bay window, and but it was a lovely house and it had a massive back garden. So it's just they're going to come and view ours, and then probably we're going to do a straight swap. So they'll move into here, and then we'll move into theirs, and then just rent that one, and they'll rent ours off us.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. So
Yeah.
they want what's their deal then? They want to just move.
They want to move near the pub, basically. So they like just being able to, because they're in their 70s.
Priorities.
Yeah, they just want to wobble down to the pub and just have a bit of, because they walk or have to drive everywhere. So for them, it's just mobility issues, really. They just want to be able to go out and socialise, you know, 2 doors down from us. So
cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, hopefully. I mean, I really like theirs. They've got 2. They had 2 dogs, like 2 Shih Tzus as well.
Oh.
So it's quite hard to get a pet-friendly accommodation. So hopefully they'll see that as an advantage into like when they come and see ours. But if we don't want it, then we'll just stay as we are for a bit.
Cool. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good work. So Kate, have you had your hair cut?
I have, yes.
Looks very nice.
It's nice.
And Nancy, are you actually in the jungle, or is that a background?
It does look like
you're background.
That is so cool.
Yeah,
I was like, where is she? That's so cool.
I wish. I'm at my mum's today.
Out somewhere in the tropics.
Yeah. In my dreams.
Well, ladies, I'm going to open the slides. Welcome to week 7.
Somebody said, I think something popped on my phone to say that she couldn't see the video, her camera is being disabled.
Okay, let me have a look.
Camera and mic.
It says yeah. Oh, host to disable my camera and mic. I don't even know how to do that. So I don't think I did. Okay. Susie, if you can hear me, do you want to log out, sign out, and then join back on? Yeah, come out and come back in. Because if I've done that, then I didn't even know I could do that. That's pretty cool.
I had to leave the last meeting before I could join this meeting. Yeah, so it's all. But I use Zoom a lot for my Reiki things. So
yeah, same.
Probably I might have had a Zoom not closed down properly.
Yeah. It's a bit weird, isn't it? There we go. There she is. Woo! I didn't mute you, I promise. This is here, but we're not going to hear from her.
I could hear and see you, but it just couldn't do anything.
How weird. Well, nice to see you all. You okay, Susie?
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Good.
Sorry, there we are.
No, it's all right. Get yourself set up. So I'm just going to pop the slides on the screen just so we can start. So welcome to week 7, everybody. And this week is all going to be about where we are now. So we're going to, this week we're going to start with talking about where we are now. And we're going to have a theme, or like mainly focusing on how we get there with a few more of the tools and explorations. We're going to do a really lovely practice later on as the last practice before we wind down after the break. But to start with, let's just get going as we always do and share something we're celebrating today. So who wants to go first? Just share where you are. Also, can you just add into that how you got on, or if you did last week's slides, and if you've done any of the bits, if you want to share anything, just share away. But don't worry if you didn't. Just maybe a little bit of an update on how you are.
I didn't get a chance to do any of last week's bits and bobs. I did look at the slides, but I haven't done any of the activities. So
That's okay. We'll let you off, seeing as you're away. We'll let you have a holiday. No, that's fine. They're there so you can do them another time. And that, as I said, the network's going to stay open, so we can keep sharing on there and keep connected and talk about the next steps, like what are we needing and being led towards next. So those will still be on there, and I've got loads of stuff that I need to just finish editing to put up that will be your like keep stuff, so that you've got meditations and yoga and stuff to go to. So what are you celebrating, Susie?
what am I celebrating? Well, I actually went in the sea last week.
Yay!
I bought some beach shoes.
Wow. What were they like? Like jelly shoes?
No, they're like surfing shoes. Like
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I braved it and went in the sea.
Good work. Oh, the kids must have loved that.
They wouldn't go in.
Oh, well, there you go. That's hilarious. Well done you.
Kids with each.
Giving them a good example. Good work. Well done. Did you get your interview stuff ready for tomorrow?
I think so. I need, because I was working from home today, so I've got to print some stuff off. But yeah, just a bit stressed. I've never done interviews before, so
Yeah.
I don't really know what to do. I've
So
only
just
ever like
doing some interviews
them.
tomorrow.
Are you interviewing someone else?
Yeah, so I'm interviewing for 3 posts.
Oh, it's way more fun being the interviewer than the interviewee, I think.
I'm hoping so. Although I'm like the lead person, so it's very prescriptive in the NHS about what you can and can't do. And you just feel like you're jumping through hoops a bit, and because I have no idea what I'm doing, and the lady who was supposed to be helping me, who's done loads of interviews before, on the Friday afternoon before I finished work for my holiday at 3:30, when I finish at 4, message to say, oh, I'm sorry, I've double booked myself, I can't do the interviews with you.
Oh,
I was like, oh my god. So yeah,
No.
throughout the holiday, but never mind.
Yeah.
It was sorted. Someone sorted it for me. So yeah, hopefully they'll go.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. You're really good at that kind of stuff. You're very personable. So, and you I think it's like one of those things, isn't it? You're going to have to. You maybe wouldn't have chosen to do it by yourself, but now you are. You're going to be.
I'm doing it with some others. I'm not doing it completely on my own. So yeah, another girl stepped in, and she has done some interviews before. So
cool.
Yeah, it just feels like quite a responsibility, because it's 3 and 5s that everyone else is going to be working with as well. So I'm just a bit, oh.
Wow.
But if you Google competency-based questions, there's loads of stuff on that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Cool.
I've got loads of questions. We've sorted the questions and everything, and so everything's done, and it's bits that people have used before as well. So yeah.
If not, just ask them what kind of biscuit they would be if they were a biscuit, and why.
I love it. I want to come to an interview with you.
Not to waste a question on silly questions.
I know, that's what we had with local authority, like doing local authority interviews. You only get like 6 or 8 questions, so you can't. It doesn't give you much room for adding in like a rogue question.
No.
I'm a rogue interviewer though, so as long as I ask the same question, that's all right.
In any way.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Brilliant. Well, you have to let us know how it goes. I think you'll be celebrating tomorrow when you've done it. It's going to be a big achievement.
I will, once it's finished. Yeah.
It'll be
Then
fine.
I've got to phone everybody, haven't I?
Gosh, yeah. Oh, that's not nice either, telling people they haven't got a job. Oh.
No. Although there's 5 candidates and 3 jobs, so it will only be 2 people, hopefully.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's pretty good odds.
They're all okay candidates, yeah. So
Yeah.
What are you interviewing for? What's the role?
so they're band 5 speech and language therapists, so they're like newly qualified.
Yeah.
So they'll be fresh out of uni and very bubbly, I think. So
Lovely. Good.
They'll have done all of their research. Yeah.
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 Before they get squished as they get older.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. That's it.
It'll be
Try
all
and suck some of that energy out of them while you're with them.
Exactly.
Like an energy vampire.
Yeah.
Bottle it and share it around.
Yeah, that's it. I need to absorb a bit, I think.
Yeah. For sure. We all need a bit of that. Thank you very much for sharing. So who's next? Kate, do you want to go? You're next on my screen.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go. I am also guilty of not doing last week's slides.
That's okay.
But I will do. I had a very quick skim through, but then I wasn't concentrating properly, so I need to.
That's okay.
Set aside a time.
Yeah.
What am I celebrating? Oh, I booked onto a ladies only weightlifting class.
Wow.
Sounds interesting.
Epic. That's something I would love to teach.
Yeah, it's like a beginner's one.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have done, like, I've done like body pump classes in the past.
Yeah.
But I thought I need like, so it starts in September for 6 weeks.
Cool.
Great.
So I thought I'll go and go.
Yeah. Make all those noises.
Make all those noises while lifting some weight. Yeah.
Normalizing girls making noises.
Yeah.
In the gym.
Yeah.
There was this guy making noises in the gym the other day, and he was like proper, like lifting obviously enormous weights, and he was like about 8 times the size of me, and he was like doing that thing. So I just started doing the same thing on the like 2 machines down with Sean.
Yeah.
I was just like, well, why not? I'm working just as hard.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Got some pretty funny looks. I think my voice is actually deeper than his when I went train. Yeah, I think that probably made him feel a bit silly, not me.
Well, I'll see how many of the other ladies are like grunting it out.
Yeah. You'll be the lead, Kate. They'll be like, oh my god, I can lift so much more when I grunt. Kate's got me that.
Oh no, yeah.
You get the nickname Grunter.
Oh god, that was awful.
Hey, they won't mess with you.
No, I'll just make my own badge. Just go in there with my.
Yeah, start it off. Yeah, get it put on some socks or something. Brilliant. Well done. That's a really big thing to celebrate. Amazing. Good work. Anthea, would you like to go next? You're next in my circle on my screen.
I haven't looked at the stuff yet. I will go back and do the last week's stuff. What am I celebrating? Well, I'm gonna be a granny.
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing. When did you find out?
Well, I knew from before, but she went today to have her first scan.
Wow.
And everything. Yeah, everything's well.
Good. This is your daughter. She's living with you at the moment.
Oh, yeah. So I'm hoping this might be a good thing, you know. Yeah. It might be a positive thing, you know. Just gonna have to check. Have to go.
She's feeling good about it.
She's good. Yeah, I think she started to feel good about it. She wasn't before.
Yeah.
I think she's coming around to it, and she started to feel a lot better about it.
Good.
Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, something to celebrate. I mean, yeah.
Good. Yeah, that's really nice. Thank you for sharing. That'll be a really nice journey for you guys to do together. Like you said, it might mean that kind of her own stuff that she needs to deal with happens.
Yeah, and we went to
a boost, isn't it?
It gives it. Yeah, we went to this I call it this like healing and there's this event on Saturday.
Okay.
And they were doing we couldn't spend a lot. I would have loved to have spent the whole day there. There's like healing and crystals and stuff like that going on. And I didn't realise that she was into it.
Wow.
Well, as soon as she went in there, she was really, this woman was talking about doing cupping and stuff like that, and she was really interested in what this lady was doing.
Yeah.
And she did have a slight incident there where she kind of nearly fainted, and then and there was like, well, this is the best place for something like this to happen. They started to sage her and everything like that. and it's the first time she's actually said to me she's open to like therapies and stuff like that. So I'm looking into connecting with somebody that may have been there. There's quite a few people there. See if there's anyone I can connect to. There was a girl that she really warmed to from she went into the place, and that's the girl that kind of did the saging.
Yeah.
And whatever, and the girl saying I picked up on her energy from she came in here, and I could, you know, and it was really good. Yeah.
Good. That sounds very positive.
Yeah.
Good stuff. That sounds like my kind of event as well. You have to let me know what it was.
Yes, I think they have quite a few things going on there. So we all left with we both bought like Shanghai, and I was like, I had to, because I went there to pick something up because the lady that I buy like health stuff from, and I said, I'll pick it up, and she didn't bring what I went to get. And then as soon as I walked in, I was like, I need to come out because I'm going to be bankrupt before I come out of this place. Because like every store had something that I wanted, you know. And then I was like, no, we need to come out of this place. It was lovely. It was a lovely atmosphere. Really nice.
Yeah, those places are a bit dangerous, aren't they?
They are.
I go to anything like that, and it's like, ooh, like a kid in a sweet shop. I don't know what to stop.
That's it. Yeah, and she was, I mean, I'm like that, but she was just like that as well. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Good. Oh, lovely. And nice something to share between you as well.
Yeah.
That's really good. So last but not least, Sue, I think we all know what you're celebrating, or one of them already.
Yes. Let's see a house. What else am I celebrating? Only failing my HR final assignment by 5%.
Oh, well done. That is a celebration. Did you think that it was going to be more?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like, what is this you've submitted, love? But no, it was good. It got graded. Obviously, it was a fail, but it was only by 5%. So I know what I need to do to get it through now. So that's good. So I've nearly done it after 3 months of messing about with it. I finally did it, and then I thought, well, it took me flipping ages. So it's 6,000 words.
Wow.
So I'm finally celebrating just having sent it off. And
well done. That's
Thank
really good.
You.
Good work.
Off the list. Going on. Sick of the bloody thing. I'm like, just pass it for God's sake.
Yeah, I can imagine. Drags on a bit.
Does, yeah. So celebrating that. I'm doing double pigeon. I did do some yoga on Sunday morning, actually. And I did an online thing. And I did double pigeon.
Well done.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, I thought, well,
oh, double pigeon.
I'll see you on Thursday when we do yoga Thursday.
Yeah, we'll do double pigeon then. Put it on the list. For sure. I love a bit of that, and I haven't done that for a while. Means it'll be painful.
Yeah. It was painful.
I can imagine. Okay, well, thanks for sharing, everybody. I think we can also be celebrating that we're here on week 7. We're all together, and I know that all of you have been making changes and doing things, adding little bits into your daily schedule and seeing some change. So I really hope that can kind of be celebrated by you as well. Sometimes we can just look at what we're not doing, or what we're not doing enough of, or the things that we need to do, and that's great. Obviously, it's great to have the awareness of what we need to do to move forward, but celebrating is really, really important. So I'm just going to share my screen again. So this is the feeling week, I like to call this week, because we're going to ask ourselves, how do we get there? So we know that we've looked at where we are, and this is not something, these questions and this kind of cycle isn't something to only feel that you only need to do once, and that by now you should be knowing how you're going to get there. It's not that way at all. We started with where are we? We've then gone on to where do we want to go? So we're looking at our dreams and our desires, and then we're going to lead on to how do we get there. So the idea behind this is that we have a way of cycling through these things, and you can specifically do this for example, a project, as if you would do a journey or a holiday or something like that. So we're at the stage now in this journey, in our shamanic healing journey here, of all these different elements and questions and practices of looking at how do we get there. So how do we get where we want to go? So this is really about what tools we're using in our daily lives and how we can keep coming back to how we feel. And this is a guide to how in or out of balance we are. And so by that, I mean, we use the tools to be more and more aware of how we feel, but we also have these tools and practices to know which ones we use at which times. So as we get more and more sensitive, so last week, if you look through the slides, then one of the activities was about being sensitive to your own touch on your arm and your upper arm. And that seems like a really, really simple exercise, but this sensitivity and of an awareness of how we feel is not just on an emotional level, it's also on a physical level and an energetic level. But also we want to cultivate that. For a lot of us, that's not something that is there. Maybe we've lost a lot of feeling, maybe we've dissociated, maybe we're shutting ourselves off, maybe we've got habits that kind of purposely numb us because we're not wanting to deal with things. But these are all things as a human, so as a soul in a human experience, these are very human traits. And so we can learn to see when we're doing that. We can learn to know how we feel when we're about to do those things. So when we're about to reach for the bottle of wine because we feel like crap, not only are we more aware that we feel like that, we can then make a choice to change our behavior, and we have the tools to know what to do. So if you're feeling angry, you might have a tool that you know what you can be doing. If you feel like you've got no energy or you need to rest more, you've got the subsequent practices and things to help you alongside that awareness and sensitivity. So we're going to continue to explore how feeling in every way, so as I said, this is emotional, physical, energetic, is so vital on our journey. And this also includes our spiritual feeling. So this can be picking up signs, being intuitive, noticing changes in the environment and other people. But that's something that we all have, some to different varying degrees, but we can explore that as well. And the more sensitive we get physically, the more all of these other sensitivities come along with it. So the best way to stay, so as I was just saying, we're going to explore feeling in every way. So the best way to do this is to actually get ahead of things first thing in the morning, and then have mindful breaks throughout the day to check in with yourself. So we've talked about some things that we can do in the morning. We talked about shaking and dancing and yoga and meditating. So the idea is that we have an arsenal of tools to help you deepen into your self-knowledge and recognizing what you need. So it's like a beautiful feedback loop. The more you practice these tools, the more you become aware of how you feel and how they affect you. And the more aware of how you feel, whether it's physically or energetically or emotionally, the more that you might come to the right tool or find a tool to help you feel better. And then you feel more sensitive. So it just keeps going round and round in a beautiful loop. I should have put a picture of a feedback loop on there because I've actually got one I can share with you. That's a really lovely way of thinking about it. It's like that healing loop just keeps getting better and better. And this starts with feeling, which a lot of the time is the one thing that most of us don't want to do. If you think about a lot of the practices, if we want to call these things practices, but a lot of the habits we have in our general world, if you think, a lot of them are numbing tools. Yeah, so watching TV or drinking or finding ways to not have to think about how we feel. We want to relax. Yeah, and a lot of us won't go to relaxation or haven't been taught as we've grown up ways to relax in a in a healthy way, in a skillful way. We look to things to help us by depressing our system or distracting ourselves. So we want to move away from that, because although we can find a lot more feeling, and that can mean that we have to feel the things we are avoiding, as we've learned through this journey, it's better to feel them and talk about them than have them deep down within us triggering behavior. So those things that we're trying to hide from and numb from, if we don't want to feel them, then it just means they control us in an unconscious way. So the one-to-one that I mentioned with you all that I'm going to do with you is part of the coaching work that I do. So I do coaching, blocks of coaching with people, like kind of like a ReWilding, but one-to-one with others. And it goes alongside what we're doing, but it can also be standalone. But one of the main things is theta healing. And theta healing is a brilliant way to get into our subconscious. So I'm not going to go into this too much tonight. I'm going to talk about this more on Sunday. But when we have the traumas and darkness and things that we're wanting to avoid within ourselves, they are often in our subconscious. And so a lot of these tools help us work with that, help us quieten our mind so we can see those things. Affirmations are a great way to replace what's in your subconscious. But some things are just a bit too deep to get to. So you can have deep beliefs that you really need to get into your subconscious to do. And so that's why people go to have theta healing or hypnosis, so that they can get into that. So I'm going to do a little bit with that, with you all in a one-to-one, so that you get a taster of that and can feel the insane magic of this subconscious work. It's really, really incredible. And it's instantaneous. So that's what's amazing about working with energy. So watching our thoughts and breaking patterns of unkind thoughts can be assisted with meditation and affirmations, as I just said. So that's not only our thoughts, but also our subconscious. So our subconscious is often deciding or influencing what our thoughts are. So some transformation tips. I'm going to obviously put this all on the portal, so you don't need to worry about writing it down unless you want to. So get ahead of your busy mind by meditating first thing in the morning. This is probably my number one tip. This is something I do every day, and it makes a difference. When I don't do it, especially if I haven't meditated or I've been really busy, I notice that my brain is already starting to talk my patterns. So everybody's got their patterns. There may be a few of them. You might have many patterns of negative or unhealthy thought patterns. Kind of, you can think about them as trenches in your brain that you just keep going over and over. And so if we meditate, we get out before that momentum into those trenches happens. If any of you've listened to any Abraham Hicks, it's absolutely amazing. And she touches on a lot of this. And it's about thinking about your momentum. So I touched on this before. We have a trail of thought that we keep going to. We have this momentum, just the train is basically flying down the track. So for someone to just say, okay, stop saying unhelpful self-thoughts. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. If for me to say to you, just stop thinking those bad thoughts is very difficult because we've got momentum behind them. So basically we want to get off the momentum. So it's like having your train going down the track with all the engines behind it, and you want to just stand out in front and stop the train. You're not going to stop the train. But if you take the engines off the train, you're going to stop the train. So we want to take the engines off the train by taking our thoughts elsewhere. And the best way to do that is by doing it first thing in the morning. You can also do it whenever you notice it. So if I notice that I'm getting in a bit of a pattern of thinking about something and being kind of stuck on it, I'll just try and sit for a few minutes. Even if you just sit quietly and focus on something you're grateful for, that's a really great thing to do, because then you're taking the engine, which is your energy and thought, your focus, off that thought track and onto something different. And eventually that becomes the norm. So journal how you feel daily. This helps build awareness and self-knowledge. Start the day with movement. You know what an advocate I am for this. Yoga is amazing, and shaking and dancing as often as you can. Any sort of movement. And again, you'll start to realize what you need. I know if I need flow yoga, I know if I need yin yoga, I know if I need to dance, I know if I need to shout. You just get really sensitive. And some days you might not know, and you might just want to sit there. But it's just as you become more sensitive and welcome the feeling, even if it's horrible feeling and you're crying or, sadness, we welcome that, because it's our guide to know what we need to do where we're out of balance. Obviously getting out in nature. So we're going to be doing some of that on Sunday. I can't wait. Practice earthing. This is a really lovely thing to do first thing in the morning. If you can, take yourself outside, put your feet on the earth, let the sunlight come into your eyes. So you're out in the sunlight in the morning if it's sunny. Sleep hygiene is crucial. So we're going to talk about this specifically tonight. That's our first topic. Make sure you do one thing every day that's just for you. So this is kind of a little bit of a summary of some of my top tips, but that's really a good one. So even if it's just that you cook a dinner that you want to eat, or it could be anything. You take 5 minutes to walk around the block just for you. You listen to your favorite songs in the car. It's got to be something for you, taking a bath, because the more we start to self-care, the more that becomes a habit. And a lot of our thoughts, so especially negative self-thoughts or destructive patterns of habits, they don't just come from our subconscious. They also come from what you do every day. How do you show up to show yourself that you love yourself? If you think about a partner or somebody that you love, often we make sure we do things to show them we love them. If we were neglecting them and we still expected them to know, if they said that they didn't know, we wouldn't be surprised. So we've really got to do the same with us, with ourselves. Nourish your body with healthy foods. So I haven't put up some of the recipes that I want to add, so I apologize for that. I'm going to add those on. You're going to get the 7 recipes I've got for some ideas of Ayurvedic foods. So there's also a quiz about your Ayurveda, but don't worry about that now. Find your hobbies and things you love. So that's a really nice one. Communicate how you feel. We've touched on that. So saying things, even the difficult things. Allow yourself to not be Superwoman. So I should have put this bigger. Superwoman is a myth. Nobody should want to be Superwoman. Superwoman is knackered. She is tired and probably grouchy and doesn't really care about herself very much because she's trying to do everything for everyone else. So this illusion that we want to be Superwoman as women, we just need to cross that out and not teach anybody that anymore, because we're not Superwoman. We're not supposed to be. We are us. We're human. We're supposed to rest. We're not supposed to be able to do everything and just be fine and fly around healing everyone and sorting everything out. So allow yourself to not be that person. Allow yourself to have a messy house, the washing up not done, the washing not done. Like, who cares? Life's too short for all of that. Honor your feelings. That's a really, really good one. So we've talked about how sometimes we're not feeling anything, and we're numbing, and feeling is our main practice for this evening. So honoring your feelings, even if they're ones that you don't want to feel. The more we honor them, we allow them and give them space. And essentially, a lot of what rewilding is giving yourself the space, whether it's in nature or whether it's daily or with the tools. You're giving yourself space to be you and to love you. And that is transformative. Hydrate. Read something that interests you. So this is a really another lovely one. This can feel really, what's the word? This can feel really like you're indulging. I find that if I read something that I really like, I feel like I'm really indulging in myself. Take time every day to do nothing for 10 minutes. And don't compare yourself ever, not even to you 5 years ago or a year ago. Comparison is something that we just, I don't know why we have this whole thing about comparison. I only ever notice bad feeling when I do comparison. Now, I'm pretty sensitive and quite rigid with what I look at on social media and things like that. And occasionally I let myself look at someone else's, because for business purposes as well, I want to see what other people are doing, what they feel like, or I'm interested in going to someone's class myself. And as long as I do that from a point of view of experiencing them and their energy, great. If I start to see, oh, she shares every day at the same time, or whatever it is, her house is really clean, or she goes to the gym all the time, or whatever it is, it doesn't help us. We can also compare ourselves to us in the past. Oh, back then I used to do that and now I don't. How shit am I? But comparison is always a negative, we always look at it, or almost always, we're looking at it in a negative way. what really, if you're ever going to do comparison, we should be seeing how far we've come. But obviously that doesn't necessarily come easily. So it's better just to not compare. And a really good thing to do is to notice if you're doing that. So if you're scrolling through this is something that I think I've talked to Sue about before, some bendy Wendy yoga. This is a saying that Sue taught me, a bendy Wendy, that somebody who's really bendy at yoga. This is something that I used to do because I'm not naturally bendy. I work at it. Then get off Wendy's posts. Just ignore that. You don't need to look at that, because no one is better than you. You're amazing at doing you. That's all you need to do, is be yourself. So I hope you enjoyed my little transformation tips. I'm going to put them on there, and I'll share them as a separate post as well. So they're something that you can go back to if you want to just delve into something a day and just remind yourself of ways to maybe make yourself feel better, and also add things on yourself. So I'll make that an interactive post. So sleep hygiene. Now, this is a big topic, and this is actually a huge factor in our health and transformation. So I am a big sleeper, and if I don't, and I know I don't have children, so I know that can be that could be something that can really influence. So that's why I'm saying we have a lot of factors that contribute, including snoring husbands and early jobs and children and barking dogs and things. But we can discuss things that we can control. So basically, sleep is so pinnacle in our transformation, because your body won't let your traumas arise and continue to do so. So we can't continue to allow these things to come up in that space that we're creating for ourselves if we're in an environment of stress. And when we're sleep deprived, we're stressed. So this is something really, really to think about. And I want us to explore this topic, not to beat ourselves up or feel bad about wherever you are. I really want us to explore it together and really feel the importance of it, because it's really difficult to meditate when you're tired. It's really difficult to look inward when you're knackered and when you're already feeling like you can't handle what's going on in your immediate world. So we really need to be rested. And this doesn't just mean sleep, it also means physical rest as well, and taking the time to do less. But if you think about, basically there's a chemical that's emitted throughout the day in our lives. And if I can't remember what the chemical's called, I'll find one of the articles that I was reading the other day about it. But basically it gets to a point, and if we don't, when we sleep, we then release it and it comes back down to zero. So if we don't get enough sleep, we never come back down to zero. And so the next day it starts to come up again, and it just keeps adding. And so it means that we really need to be getting rid of this so that we can start our day on zero. And if we're not sleeping enough, we're not doing that. So if we're not doing that, we then are in a situation of stress before we even hit the ground going. And it just means that the opening of ourselves and holding space for ourselves is that much more difficult. So obviously there's a lot of factors that can contribute, where you live and the daylight and what you're doing for your work and all these kind of things. But we can control a lot of things. And I'm going to give you some tips or some practices that you could start to implement that within my coaching, I found that people really, really find beneficial. So I'll share those with you in a minute, but I want us to start by sharing a little bit about what our relationship is with sleep and what our sleep routine is, if we've got any. And again, this is just an open sharing, to not be judging yourself, but just if we can get real with ourselves and with each other about where we are and where we want to be, then that's when change can start to come about. So I'm going to stop this share and give us all an opportunity to share. So who wants to go first? Sharing what's your, let me just share it again so you can remember what the question was. So what's your relationship with sleep and your sleep routine?
I love sleeping.
Good. So your relationship with sleep is pretty good then?
Can be. It depends. Sometimes I can, as soon as my head hits the pillow, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Then sometimes I wake up at 2 and can be wide awake for about half an hour.
Okay.
But I don't stress about it. I just let it be and then just go back to sleep.
Good.
And then I normally wake up 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I'm usually up by 8.
Okay. Lovely.
For the weekend. And then the school's like a school day, I'm up, earlier, obviously.
And do you have a routine? Do you have anything you specifically do to get yourself ready for bed at night, to kind of down tools? Is there anything that sticks out to you that really works or doesn't work?
No, I just usually get my gym jams on.
Yeah.
And well, it depends what I've done in the evening, I suppose. If I've been out to a class, then I come home, usually have a shower, put my gym jams on, eat my tea, chill out for an hour, watch a series.
Yeah.
And then 10 o'clock is bedtime.
Yeah. Lovely.
So I do have quite a good routine in the week. I don't go past 10 o'clock, but I do have a habit of scrolling on my phone a bit when I go to bed.
Yeah.
And I have been known to wake up in the middle of the night and check my phone.
Okay, good. So maybe jot those things down, because I want you to all, just jot down the things that you think are helpful and aren't helpful. So you've got a time that you go to bed and you get ready and get yourself kind of in comfy clothes and down tools. That's really good. But you've noticed that you're scrolling and checking your phone probably isn't a great thing to help you sleep. So pop those down so that you're aware of them. That's really good. Thank you for sharing. So who wants to go next?
But my sleep is poor.
Okay.
My sleep's always been bad from I can remember, from a child.
Yeah.
I sleep very light. If I get 5 hours of sleep at night, I'm lucky.
Wow.
I would love to be able to sleep.
Okay. Is there anything that you've ever done that's made you sleep more? Anything that has really worked for you, that you've gone, oh wow, I did this once and I slept like a baby?
There was one day I slept recently. I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember you telling me actually.
I can't remember what I did to sleep. I remember there was one night and I was thinking, what happened there? And then it never happened again. but I've tried loads of stuff over the years, like from not having a TV in the bedroom.
Yeah.
I mean, even turning the bright light off, because my phone at 7 o'clock, it goes to like a yellowy kind of thing, so not having that light on my phone. One thing I can't do, I don't generally call anybody, but I can't talk to anybody like after 9 o'clock or whatever. Because if I start talking or whatever, then that's it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to sleep. So generally, my routine is that I will, once Shamar goes down, I'll have a shower and stuff, and I just tend to relax in the evening for a couple of hours.
Good.
I prefer sometimes I watch TV, but I don't like to watch TV.
Yeah.
And I try not to use the phone.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes you can't help it when things are pinging or I'm having to research something or something like that. But I do try not to be on the phone too much.
Yeah.
But it's really been bad. And last week was like an awful week. I mean, I was telling you that there was loads of stuff going on last week.
Yeah.
And it was to the point where I had to Google this thing, because one night, I think I woke up I went to bed at 10, woke up before 12. I was just lying down there for hours, and it was like about 3 o'clock, and I was like, I really need to get some sleep.
Yeah.
And I found this meditation, is yellow brick, something I remember. Yeah. So since that night, so I just turned that on, and I let it play out, and it's like as soon as it finished, it's like I woke up again and I had to restart it again from the beginning.
Oh dear.
Every night now, I set that for an hour.
Yeah.
Yellow Brick Cinema.
Yeah.
Zen music. Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah. So I set that for an hour now, and that helps me to go off.
Good.
And then if I do wake up in the night, because I generally will do it to go to the toilet. If I do, I put it back on, and it tends to that's been helping me. But I still don't, as I said, don't get at least 5 hours, a block of 5 hours sleep.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing. Hopefully some of the things will help. And I'm going to give you a sleep yoga nidra to do. So we'll do a yoga nidra at the end this evening, but there'll be a sleep one recorded that I'm going to add on. So add on to the portal. So hopefully you could try that and see how that is. Yoga nidra is really amazing to help people sleep. I think a couple of you have been to my yoga classes where I've done those, and you've the yoga workshops. And
oh yeah, my sister fell asleep.
Yeah, she did. But
snoring. She started snoring. I was like, oh.
Yeah, loads of people fall asleep. It's quite funny. Remember, Sue, were you there when Sean fell asleep and I couldn't wake up?
That's funny.
Everybody else was sat up and I was like Sean, everybody's sitting up, and he's like,
you went.
he's like, it's your voice or something, you just fall asleep. I'm sure he doesn't think that when I'm nagging him. Like, this is my yoga nidra voice. Okay, well, thank you for sharing. So who wants to go next?
Can I go?
Yeah.
This is making me realise how terrible my relationship with sleep is, and my complete and utter lack of routine.
Okay. Well, that's good. It's good to notice.
Yeah. So I think I like in the past, if I've had like work stress, but I don't know, like in my 20s, 30s, I've occasionally had issues with insomnia where I can go to sleep, but then I'll wake up.
Yeah.
And I might be awake from 2 a.m.
Yeah.
until 5:30, and then I'll drop off, and then I'll wake up when I need to for work or something at 6, 6:30. I feel horrendous.
Yeah.
I'm almost better just being like, right, I give up. I get up at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's me done. Yeah. And then when I had the cafe business, I used to quite often have that, and then I'd get up at 4:30 and I'd start working at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh my God.
Which is a terrible thing. And then after Thomas, I was forced to have a sleep routine. Yes. Because I had to sleep. Yeah. Because I was medicated. Yeah. So that almost got me into having a better with a newborn baby, ridiculously, a better sleep routine for the first 3 months. Right. Because I took it at 9 o'clock. Yeah. It made me go to sleep. Yeah. And I'd be zonked out. Nothing would wake me up. Yeah. And then I would get up at 6 o'clock. Yeah. So that my mum could then go to sleep. Yeah. So that forced me. And then so it was better. I think since having Toby, it's completely gone to pot. Yeah. So probably 3 years. So yeah, that sleep routine was better with Thomas, but then he was a very unsettled baby. So once I was back doing the nights, he, till the age of 5 or 6 months, woke up every hour. Then it sort of extended to every 2 hours, every 3 to 4. Yeah. So probably since he's been 4 months, I can't remember having 8 hours sleep. I just think for the last 5 years, or coming up to 6 years, I've had the odd night where I'm tearing my hair out, and so I go and sleep at my mum's, but I haven't done that for a long time. Yeah. Every kind of couple of months I go and have a sleep at my mum's so that I could actually have 8 hours sleep. Yeah. Because it was so disturbed. Yeah. So now I don't even have a set bedtime. So in order to avoid my husband and his gropey hands, I will wait until he gets tired at kind of 9, but often he goes to bed between 8 and 9. Yeah. So he will go to bed, and then I think, oh God, he's going to snore really badly. So he snores like a terrible grizzly bear.
Oh my gosh.
I think, well, there's no point going to bed because I'm not going to get to sleep.
No.
And then the boys will often, it has improved a bit, wake up between 10 and 11.
Yeah.
So I think, well, there's no point going to sleep for half an hour or 45 minutes only to be woken up, because then I feel awful.
Yeah.
So I've got into a really bad habit of not going to bed until 11, midnight.
Yeah.
Sometimes later. And I don't have a problem going to sleep. I have a problem staying asleep.
Okay.
Whether that's because I've been disturbed by snoring, one boy, another boy.
Yeah.
Or because I will just wake up because my brain's buzzing.
Yeah.
So,
and what are you doing before bed? What are you doing up until 11 or midnight?
Oh God, I could be doing all manner of things. Like I might be cleaning, I might do washing up. Generally, I used to do quite a lot of exercise classes.
Yeah.
Or I'd go out running.
Yeah.
That is definitely like, and I think I've then just filled that time with generally faffing around and making myself appear busy but achieving very little.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, I've got some emails to catch on, and I'll check my emails and I'll check Facebook.
Yeah.
And
you feel like you've got a golden window of time, but actually
no, like literally
no one else,
no one is bothering me.
Yeah.
No one's asking anything of me. It's quiet.
Yeah.
Often I had been doing work, so I might stay up till 10, 11 o'clock at night doing work.
Right.
So I'm just a bit all over the place.
Okay.
It's definitely got worse with the pandemic.
Yeah.
I pointlessly scroll. I'll just be like, oh, I need a new rug, even though I definitely don't need a new rug. If you ask my family, I've purchased many rugs. I definitely don't need any more. I'll just funny around, really.
Yeah. Okay.
And then if I go to bed, I might just be like, oh, I don't know, the boys in 6 months' time might need like a puddle suit, so I'll get on that now.
Love it. Well, you know where to go if you run out of extra things.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I never used to do that. Like online shopping, I would do it if it's somebody's birthday or I couldn't get to shops. But now that there are so many shops, like it's endless, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can that.
I like Dora when it comes to shopping, like online shopping.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I spent like 50 quid online shopping. I'm never going online shopping again. And like, oh, new look, online shopping.
It's not even that I actually buy the things. I might spend like an entire evening researching like a pair of sandals.
Yeah.
and I found like 400 pairs of sandals, but I've put them in the basket, but I've not actually bought them. I'm just really massively wasting time. And because I find my brain can't concentrate very well, I'll go to read a book, I'll read a page and I think, oh God, what was that I just read? And then I'll start it again. And I just really struggle to concentrate reading, which I do enjoy.
Yeah.
And then every now and again for like a week I'll be like, right, I'm gonna take all my makeup off, put some pajamas on, go to bed at a sensible time.
Yeah.
So yeah, just
do you think that a sleep routine would help you if you had like a bit of a
I'm sure it would, because then when I wake up in the night, I've got into a really bad habit of scrolling or just be like, oh God, I don't even know, like, oh, I must try and, I don't know, listen to a podcast at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like that's a really sensible thing to do.
Yeah.
So
okay, well, some of the tips will hopefully help.
Yeah, I know it's really
you want a sleep ritual.
Yeah, I know I'm definitely I'm not helping myself. I know I'm not helping myself.
Yeah, but that's easy to do. I think when you're, like I was saying earlier, when you're tired, all those things that you might do if you weren't tired seem less. We all pick unhealthy habits when we're tired. It's just your nature. Your body needs energy. You're tired. It doesn't think with reason as much. So it's like you need this ritual so that even when you're tired, you know you've got some things that you know you do that like are set in stone. Like I'm not going to scroll. I'm putting my phone away. Put my pajamas on.
I do that. Like I set up all the alert, like don't get the notifications, but I just ignore it.
Yeah.
You
almost need someone to come into your house and like pick up
That's it. And then I
take
get
the devices off you.
Exactly. I get really angsty that I've only got my mobile. There's no landline. What if there's an emergency? Like I've gone down the
Sorry, I'm still listening.
rabbit warren of what might happen if I turn my phone off.
And what would happen?
Well, I mean, so far, not really anything.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? We think.
But I think I'm so thinking I am just going to get disturbed that I almost
preempt it.
Yeah, I preempt it. I'm like, well, I'm bound to get woken up. Like last night, the boys were messing around going to bed, so it took ages. I mean, generally they are asleep by 8. It's but then Thomas woke up because he needed a wee. Toby then wet the bed. Chris was snoring. So often nobody ends up in the same bed as they started off in. And amazingly, Toby actually slept till 8 o'clock in the morning, which I think is the first time ever.
Wow, that's really good.
No one else did, but still.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's rubbish.
Well, maybe write all that down. Write those things down that you think are bothering you and that could change and that you think maybe aren't so helpful. Because as I said with the journaling, you write it down, you almost make it really real. So sharing it is one thing, and also journaling. And then you've got these ways in which you're like, okay, I'm doing this and I know it's not helpful and I want to start these things. So I'm going to talk through some tips in a minute. And then as part of this week, I want you guys to formulate the things that you're going to do and then share them as a commitment. So it's like 5 or 6 simple things that are going to start helping you get into a sleep ritual, and almost like it's a sacred thing. I think morning and bedtime rituals need to be really kind of honored as if it's sacred, because your sleep is sacred and so is what you do with your day and your mindset for the day. So those 2 points are really, really important. So if you make it kind of more sacred and also fun and like a pattern, you know what you're doing, you haven't got to think about it. You know, okay, I do this, I'm going to put my pajamas on. I'm not drinking after this time. I'm going to have a bath or a shower, whatever it is, something. So I used to, when I was teaching till late, I used to have a bath every night. It doesn't matter whether it was summer or whatever. I would come in and have a bath, because for a while I was really out of a pattern and was going to bed really late. And it told my body that was time to go to sleep. And it worked. Now, if I have a bath, I'm like out like a light, because I've just got I've told like a signal that I'm going to have bath with lavender in, and that's it. I'm gone. It's like you need like a marker almost. So
I need to
pick some things.
Reprogram.
Yeah, absolutely. A reprogram.
No, I just love bedtime.
It is good.
I love it.
I think I do. Yeah, I do know that I need more sleep. I want to get more sleep.
Yeah. I
think it's like craving time.
Yes, of course.
Without anyone else.
Yeah.
Just like no one's gonna bother me.
Yeah. And I think that's really important to honor. So your rituals would be around you, but rather than shopping or emails or scrolling, they can be things that are actually for you.
Yeah.
So what do I actually need to do? Okay, I need to relax, so I'm going to do a yoga nidra, or I'm going to do some yin yoga, or I'm going to read a book and read the same page over and over again. I have to get a really simple book.
No, I think I'll just one of the kids must have a book.
Yeah, there you go. A really nice story. Yeah. Read the Gruffalo.
Yeah. You can get like audio books as well.
I know. I
really nice thing to do
recently, and I really enjoyed that. I really love Claudia Winkleman, and
I
wanted to read her book, but I thought I just can't. So I got her audio book, and I really enjoyed listening to that. So
see, there you go. That would be something that's like just for you. Listen to something that you're really interested in.
Yeah.
Some of your favorite music or something, or even just doing nothing if you can. So like thinking about just having silence, like, oh my god, everybody's asleep, and just sit here and be quiet and go in the bar.
I'm not very good at doing that. I need to improve. I just feel
and that's so natural. We're all doing that, but as you said, that's then it means that there isn't any of the quiet, so you've actually got an opportunity to have quiet time, which you're going to be craving, of course. So it's like almost using that so you feel like you've had quiet time rather than actually like you've just carried on doing things.
Yeah.
It is that catch-22. It's like you get a day to yourself or a moment to yourself and you're like, oh, I could do all these things that I really want to do when I'm on my own. But actually, really just tending to yourself and being a bit slower could be a real gift. Thank you for sharing. So Susie, last but not least, how are you doing? How's your relationship with sleep and your routine? Oh, we can't hear you. You're not on mute. It's weird. What's going on with the sound? I haven't blocked you or anything. Do you want to try and turn your audio off and then turn it back on? Sometimes you might be on the audio for, do you want earpods?
Yeah.
There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't do anything.
That's weird. How strange.
So I feel like I never get enough sleep.
Okay.
I've always felt like I need a lot of sleep. I'm always tired all the time, regardless
Yeah.
of how. Yeah.
Oh, it's very quiet, Sue. Sorry to interrupt you. You're very, very, very distant.
I just want to sit a bit closer.
Yeah. Yeah,
Is
that's
that better?
Yeah.
See out my nose now.
That's okay. Beautiful nose.
Oh, thank you. Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
I'm going to lose the phone now. Hold on. You might fly off in a second.
It's okay.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah. So since having the kids, they don't sleep. They have horrendous sleep routines and always have. So
Okay.
even trying all the things like a bath and having a routine before bed never worked.
Yeah.
So both of them were the same. They woke up every hour.
Oh my gosh.
And then it did spread out, and they are better now, but it's
Yeah.
getting them to go to sleep now that's the problem.
Yeah.
So we take them up to bed at about 8:30.
Yeah.
We take them up at about 8.
Yeah.
And then often they're still wide awake at 10:30.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah. And they won't stay up there on their own.
Yeah.
So
someone has to be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then that's quite.
I'll tend to go and lie down in our room. So we take it in turns. We usually take it in turns to do bedtime.
Yeah.
So I'll go and sit in our room, and then I end up scrolling on my phone.
Yeah, of course.
Just because it's like, well, there's no point doing anything
No.
constructive because they call every 5 seconds to check that you're still there.
Yeah.
Or they've got something in their eye, or they need a drink.
Yeah. Any imaginative. It's amazing how kids can be so imaginative, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Pains and all sorts that weren't there 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
There's something in your other eye as well. Okay.
It's called your eyeball. Go to sleep.
Yes.
If you shut your eyes, you won't notice it.
Is it your eyeball? Yeah. So, it's generally at least 10 before they're asleep.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, I have stuff to do now, so I can't just go to sleep at 10. So I do. Some days I will try and get everything I need to do done, like make my lunch and that for the next day. Yeah. Before I take them up to bed. Yeah. But that's not always practical, and then I don't see Nick. So yeah. Yeah. So I'll go downstairs, and then when I go to sleep, I don't have a problem going to sleep generally, unless I'm feeling stressed. And I do notice when I'm stressed, I'll tend to wake up. Okay. Or I can't get to sleep, or my mind's like racing. Yeah. And I do try. Sometimes I'll try and write like things down that I need to remember. Yeah. As like reminders in my phone. Yeah, that's a really good practice. Which does help. Because otherwise I'm thinking I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that. Yeah. So yeah, that does help. But then I don't really have a set routine then when I go to bed. So and I never really needed one. I just go to sleep. Yeah. Because I'm knackered. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, but I'll go to bed and I'll end up scrolling. Yeah. And I do have like books and things on my phone as well. Yeah. But then I'll get distracted by the notifications. Of course. Yeah. So I do sometimes think I'll sit and read.
Yeah.
And I always have the aim of going to bed at about 10, but it's always dependent on small people and the stuff that I've not got done during the day. So yeah. And then because I get up so early, I then get stressed because I'm not asleep yet and everyone's awake and I need to go to sleep.
Yeah, that's a horrible thing, isn't it? Knowing that you've got an alarm going off early, that and then you're counting down the time. Oh, now it's 6 hours. Oh, now there's no point me going to sleep because it's only 4
That's what I do as well.
Yeah, that's horrible. That is like the worst thing ever.
I've also not had a full night's sleep for probably about 8 years, Stacey, isn't it?
Yeah. I think we need to sort of invest in some sort of child cage. I think this is the only answer. Soundproof cage for children, and then you guys can just do whatever you want.
That'd be great.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe some of the routines might help you then find your way into an earlier bed, even if you've got the things that, you know, you've done some of the things that you need to do. But if you're falling asleep well, that's great. But just making sure if you've got things to help you drift off, and also that you're not then scrolling, because I think sometimes even if we're falling asleep because we're really tired, if we've been scrolling, our mind is still active, so we're not dropping into deep sleep quickly. So especially when we have like a fixed window of sleep because of things going on in life, I think it's even more than important to try and get your mind to be almost off before you're even trying to get into bed. I know that's really tricky, but you're then getting better quality of sleep, because if you can't get quantity, then quality is really, really important, isn't it? So thank you everyone for sharing. And I think maybe some of the things could be things you would do all together as well. I don't know whether you've ever thought about that. Like, I'm sure you've tried everything, but some of the things I know that people end up doing. So I had one lady that I was working with for a long time, and she ended up doing her ritual as early as before her kids went to sleep, so that they kind of did the thing with her. And that actually meant that whenever they'd fallen asleep, whether it was earlier than usual or later than usual, she was already good to go. So obviously it means doing it very early, but that could be a way of really being switched off. So you kind of have already down tools by the time they've fallen asleep. But just see what you think. So do jot those things down. And obviously over this week, I'm going to get you to share some things that you think might help. So children in some sort of soundproof cage could be on that list if you want to. There's no judgment.
I get one for Pete as well, because he huffs and puffs at night.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, huffing and puffing, what is that with guys and huffing and puffing or snoring?
I think it's when they stop breathing as well. Chris does that. He stops breathing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like, what?
Oh my God, it's so unhealthy, isn't it?
Before, just to play it to him because he didn't believe me.
Yeah, isn't that sleep apnea? Because my dad does that.
Yeah, he's sleep apnea.
So I didn't know. I know my dad snores really loudly because my room used to be next to theirs when I lived at home, and you can hear my dad snore for miles. I'm sure. I used to think it was a lion when I was a little girl, but it was a lion in the night. So he was snores that loud. But one day we all stayed in this like caravan, and my dad he'd had a drink, so it was even worse than usual. And he'd fallen asleep. Him and Mum were sleeping in the lounge or something like that. Anyway, we were around him when he'd already fallen asleep, and we were like, what the hell? Like, how do you sleep? What on earth is that? Is that normal? Mum's like, that's normal, but he does that thing.
Yeah.
And he knows he does it. We've all told him, we all talked to him, you know, he wouldn't mind me sharing it. It's mental. It's like, you can't imagine how that doesn't wake them up. Because does Chris not wake up when he does it?
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't either. He takes a great big breath in, like you say, and he goes. And he like,
is he dead? Yeah, and I remember thinking, because my dad did this while he was, and I think my dad's died. Like, oh my God, like what? Oh my God. And then I said to my mum in the morning, she's like, no, that's normal. Wow. She's like, I don't worry about it anymore. We're like, oh, fair enough.
If I'm flying, I fall asleep with my eyes open.
What? Wow.
Done it many a time. Pete's been talking to me, and I've been like asleep.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, sleep rituals are pretty, the things we do when we sleep are pretty unusual, but hopefully some of these things will help. So I'm just going to share a few things, and again I'm going to put these on the network. So as you know, I'm a huge advocate of sleep. So here is some of my sleep love ritual. So the number one, the reason why it's at the top, is all screens away at 8 or as early as you can manage. So obviously this is difficult if the situations in your life where you're using your phone, but obviously ideally not working at night. Ideally, if you can not watching TV or any sort of scrolling. Now, this can, in our modern world, this can seem absolutely bonkers to do this, but it is the number one thing that makes a difference. I coach with a guy, and again, I've had permission to share this with you from him because he had such a change. He used to every night be on his phone until 11, 12, 1 a.m. And the only thing that he did at first was stop being on his phone. So he'd turn his phone off at 9 p.m. and his screen, and he wouldn't watch a movie or anything at all. And he slept a lot better. And he had sleep apnea and sleep like insomnia for years. And he said that really, really, really helped. So it can really make a big difference, just one thing. So maybe having a bath or a shower and trying warm and cold, but having these as your kind of marker, as I said about a marker. So you're almost telling your body, making sure that you're not going to do anything after. That's really important. So get your bits done if you can, not doing those things late at night, and then having that hot or cold shower or bath. So a cold shower can be something that some people really benefit from. So if I'm feeling really wound up, I won't have a hot bath or a shower. I'll have a really cold one. And that honestly does wonders. It resets your whole system. So lavender or your favorite relaxing essential oil on your pillow. So put it on. PS, don't put it on where you're going to sleep because you don't want it in your eyes. So top corners of your pillow. That's one of my main life hacks, because I used to put it where my face was and then wonder why I had like red around my eyes in the morning. Favorite comfy pajamas. So start really nourishing yourself with your favorite soft, fluffy, things, silky things, so that you're giving your body the marker, the change of environment. So rather than wearing your tight yoga leggings or your trousers for work, you're putting on something really comfy, really soft, your fluffy dressing gown or your onesie, and you're giving your body that signal that it's time to wind down, and that your body recognizes the kind of the signs. So when you put those on, when you got into a habit, you put those on and your body will start to wind down. Drink lots of water in the day, so you're not drinking too much after 7. This can seem really early, but something along those lines. If you're going to bed at 10, you really want to be stopping drinking a couple of hours before, so that you can not be waking up to the toilet as much. But that means drinking lots in the day. Obviously, don't dehydrate. So can you go to bed before 10 p.m. or at 10 p.m.? This is one of my questions and my tries for you guys. This is really a big thing. So if you study sleep science, which I've done a course on it before, because I'm mega interested in sleep and how it affects us. If you go to sleep, we in the Stone Ages or whatever, we would have been asleep when it went dark. So if you think that through the winter, this is particularly essential to note, it goes dark at 4:30. So that means get your pajamas on, ladies. Like, honestly, we would have been going to sleep then. So we are part of nature. Our circadian rhythms are set up as part of nature. And so that means that we feel that. And so we need to sync with it as much as we can. So the more sleep you get before midnight is essential. That's really, really quality sleep. So trying to go to bed as early as you can. A yoga nidra or yin yoga are really fab weekly things to do, at least for deeper relaxation. So as I said, I'm going to share with you a yin yoga and a yoga nidra for sleep. So I want you to be able to use those whenever you want to. Just the ones that you can pop headphones in and lie in bed doing, so you're not disturbing anybody. Obviously, the yin yoga is a few poses that are really nourishing for sleep. They stretch out your back, which is another place especially your adrenals, that you want to really stretch out before you go to sleep. No hard physical exercise, obviously apart from sex, if you're doing that late at night, after 6 or 7 p.m. Now, I say that because, again, a lot of us will be doing our exercise late at night, but you're then bringing in all those hormones that are going to help you stay active. So stress hormone, and also, if you think about when you want to be the most active in the day, it's not late at night. You want to be ideally doing your exercise in the evening before your dinner, or in the day, in the morning or in lunchtime, because then you can really wind down. And again, it's a signal to your body. You're letting your body slow down. You're not telling your body that it needs to kind of get going. Having a light dinner can help. So not eating a really heavy meal late at night. So if you're eating your dinner at 9 p.m, chances are you are not going to sleep, quality sleep, at 10 o'clock, because your body's digesting. So your body needs the blood and energy towards your stomach and your digestive system. When you lie down, then your body is still trying to do that. When you lie down, you actually stop doing some of the processes as part of digestion. So that means you're going to get indigestion. So you can see that that's going to impact how your body is. Your body wants to be doing nothing when it's sleeping. Consider having heavy conversations early in the day. This is, again, a really one that I think I've picked up from personal experience, but also from other people when I'm doing coaching, because a lot of people will start to talk about things like holidays and planning with their partners late at night. Yeah, we've finished work, we've had dinner, we stopped doing everything we're doing. Oh, it's time to talk about this. And I know that sometimes can't be helped, but not having difficult conversations in particular, or ones where you need to get your brain into gear late at night. So maybe deciding that you're going to have that earlier after dinner another time if you can't have it before dinner, but just trying to schedule times for those, so you're not getting into bed at 10 o'clock and talking about, your horrible neighbor or something like that. Choose appropriate fun or erotic reading. So no reading kind of a heavy manual that you want to learn something about late at night. Try and pick something fun. And if you want to have fun dreams, then pick something really saucy. That's really good. I can give you some tips for that. That can also, remember that our sexual center, our sexual energy, isn't part of your working brain, your thinking mind. So even if you're getting into thinking about using something fictional or something erotic, then that isn't stimulating your thinking mind. You are getting into a story, but it's not using your mind where you're needing to analyze or critically think. So those kind of things can be really nice. And also, sexual energy is obviously something that we know is our life force energy. And so waking that up isn't a bad thing, even if you're going to be sleeping, because you're just waking up your creativity and allowing yourself to dream. And practice self-massage and touch. So even if it's stroking your arms or your hands, or allowing yourself to massage your feet before you go to sleep, this can be a really lovely way to get yourself into your body and out of your head. So I do have a session that I teach on this, body massage before bed. So maybe that's something I'll do as a workshop at some point. But if you're interested in that, let me know and I can do it as a session with you guys. So we're going to have a break now before we go off on the last point about touching and feeling, to go into our last practice for today. So I would like you to, let's have a break now. I'm going to stop sharing this. Let's just grab a cup of tea. And also, if you want to be comfortable, you do want to be comfortable for the next practice. So grab maybe a blanket or cushions, just so that you can lean back or sit somewhere comfortable. So I like to do this reclined on the sofa. You might want to lie down, but just get something so that you can be really comfortable. Maybe socks if you're going to get cold. And yeah, grab a cup of tea. So should we say we'll be back here at 8? So just 5 minutes to grab a cuppa and then come back together. So I'll see you in a minute. That looks like a cozy blanket.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Good. I don't know if I need these on or not. My eyes are sleepy.
I have to hide it away because everyone likes this blanket.
Oh yeah, you got to have like a secret.
I've got a secret, my secret blanket.
Yeah, that's very good. So we'll just wait a moment for Sue. So we're going to do a breast meditation tonight. So this is a really good way to find feeling. I'm going to share my screen. So, as I said, getting into your body is not only a really good way to fall asleep, but it also is a really good way to find this sensitivity. So our focus this week is about sensitivity and feeling, and using that to enable us to know what we need to do and what tools we need to use, and those tools help us feel more feeling. And so one of these tools is something called breast meditation. So this is just one really lovely way of getting into more sensitivity. So we're going to have a little share at the end about where particularly we are with sensitivity, where we are in feeling. I'm just going to make sure Sue's okay. I'll just pause for a minute because I don't want to have her to miss anything. So basically we'll have a share at the end about this, so that you can share where you are with feeling. And this can be emotional feeling, this could be physical feeling, this could be sexual feeling. Really, it's all, our sensitivity spectrum is very, what each of them impacts the other. So if we're really numbing our emotions, then we're probably going to be physically numb in some way as well. So and vice versa. And same with our energy. If we're not necessarily very aware of how our energy is, then we might not feel physically very sensitive. And so to get straight into this is really working with more feeling and sensitivity. And so this is really one of the main things that I do now with one-on-one coaching, is helping people do trauma release, but also help people get into feeling. So for years I was almost totally numb, and that in my physical body, especially sexually. And that really plagued me because I didn't really understand why I could be so full of energy and then not be feeling anything. But I'd dissociated emotionally because of a lot of things going on, and traumas and sexual trauma. And so that meant that if you're cutting off emotionally, you're also probably cutting off physically. And so then we want to go into an exploration of this, and our feeling never just disappears. So sorry, just bear with me. Oh, there we go. So yeah, we don't want to, if we can, when we're exploring this, we really want to just look at exactly what is. So if we're feeling numbness, we start there. So i.e. if we're not feeling anything, we start there. If we feel like we're blocked or we're stuck or we're not feeling anything emotionally, or we dig our feelings down, we start with that, because noticing and awareness is what it's all about. Just start there, and we're just going to accept where we are. And that is the doorway into feeling more. The more that we just pretend that's not happening, there's no connection. We have to connect with exactly where we are. So on my journey personally, I had to connect with the fact that I was numb, and that I didn't, for a long time, I didn't even know I was numb. I just didn't feel anything. So that sounds really bonkers, but if you don't have feeling there, how can you know you're missing it? And so for a lot of us as women, especially, we can never have understood the vast array of pleasure, especially in our breasts and our sexual organs. So because nobody teaches us that, we don't talk about it, we don't discuss it, we don't really have a marker. So if you start your young adult sexual life exploring and you don't feel anything, who is to say that there's anything different? So this is really about starting again, setting the reset button and just deciding that we know that we have pleasure organs, we have very much a sensitive body, especially as women. We're very receptive. We are the yin. That means we're more receptive to sensation than guys. And we're probably not utilizing that. Now, this isn't just for pleasure. That would be a wonderful thing, even if it was. But feeling and sensation is a tool into everything. So I'm just going to say that again. Feeling and sensation is a tool and a way into everything. So the more we feel pleasure, the more we feel pain, the more we feel joy, the more we feel our touch, the more we feel everything gets better. And it also allows us to be really in our life. And it is a tool to transform things. We can't really do any of the things that we've established so far without feeling them. As we talked about in trauma, when we were looking at traumas, we've touched on that. And that's something that each of you will want to go further into, I'm sure of, because you're on this journey now. And once you've opened the door, you want to keep going and you want to get deeper into it. And really, it's a cyclical thing. You know, I've been doing this for years and years with my own traumas, and you think that something's done and then it comes up in a different way. But it gets easier and it gets better and it gets deeper and more knowledgeable about you. You know yourself more, but also it means that all the other feelings, all the good stuff, that gets more feeling as well. And it goes, and again, it's that positive feedback loop. So the more you're feeling, digging into your traumas and you're digging into your darkness and you're feeling what's uncomfortable and what's hidden, you're not dissociating, you're learning how not to dissociate, you're wanting to go into feeling in your emotions, that will make you more sensitive physically, because those pathways will come back. And the more we look into our physicality and our sensation and our physiology and finding feeling in our body, then that also allows us to find more in our emotions. So it's all really, really connected. So that's why we're doing the both. And I've left this kind of topic until the end because it is an enormous topic. This is what I absolutely was made to be doing, holding space for people healing their traumas and finding their feeling. And I had to go through that myself to be able to do that and to be led to this from a young age, to keep exploring it. And it's amazing to be able to see the difference this makes in every way in person's life by uncovering their feeling. So whether that's looking to feel something that you haven't felt in the past, which we did before, and now on to the more kind of juicier side of it. And as I said, this is an enormous topic. We couldn't possibly cover it all now, but it's something that you can do more with me or with others if you're interested in going more into tantra and feminine arts. So like jade egg practice, this is something that I'm going to start teaching at workshops, and we're definitely going to do this at the ReWilding residential, but it's something that we really need to be a lot more in depth with each other with, and in a surrounding where we can be totally on our own, and also not to just go home. For a lot of people, working with feminine arts is something that starts to really uncover a lot of things. This can be like a lifetime of numbness for a lot of us, or a lifetime of blocking, or a lifetime of not really knowing or being taught anything. And so we really need a really lovely, juicy container to explore that in. So that's this is going to be a little feeling intro, and breath meditation is a really lovely way to get into it. So our breaths are connected with our heart. So they're connected with our feeling center, and they're connected with our sexual organs. So our creative and sexual center. And so we start with our breasts because also, for another reason, they give to the world. So our breasts give to the world. Men like them, women like them if you're with women partners, but our partners like our breasts often, but also children. Yeah, we nourish our children with them. They're also in front of our heart. And so they're getting all of that feeling. They're right there, taking all of that. And so we start with breath meditation with our breasts, because for a lot of women, this is a place where they might not realize they're numb. And this is an opening. It's a massive doorway. So for me, this was my big doorway, something that I would never have come to myself. I didn't touch my breasts. I didn't have any feeling in them. I just kind of left this to other people, and then I didn't really enjoy it. And so it's about finding that for you. This is a really lovely way to give back to you, because your breasts are in exactly the right place for you to nourish yourself with love. So without further ado, I'm going to get you to be comfortable. So however you're set up, just be comfortable. You can turn your camera off if you want to when we get into it. So I'll cue that when we get to it, if you want to. You don't have to. There's not anything we're going to be doing that doesn't need to be on the camera, but some people might want to be more private. And also just observe as much as you can of what is. So this is a practice. I'm going to be cueing as we're going, but a lot of it is your own exploration. And for a lot of people, I'm not going to put ideas in your mind, but this could be a very different experience for a lot of people. So I want you to be with what is. So whatever your experience, please be present with that and please welcome it. We're going to share at the end, and I don't want anybody to feel embarrassed about whatever this experience was for them. It can be nothing, it can be everything. All of that is fine. Even if it's nothing and it feels like nothing, I promise you this will do something. The first time I did this practice was about 11 years ago or so, ages ago, and I still remember it. That's why I know it was so pinnacle, because I didn't have any sensation in my boobs, and the next day I had erect nipples all day, and it was like, what on earth? I went to the gym and I wore a top without a sports bra, and I was in the gym, and my mate came over to me, my friend Tony, and he was like, Susie, you all right? And I was like, yeah, why? And he was like, well, what's going on? And I was literally like this, just like really, really crazy. So that was pretty funny, but it was funny that he noticed as well. Obviously guys notice this, right? I said guys are drawn to boobs, but I'd not had really any sensitivity. I'd never got that before. So it really shifted something for me, even though I didn't know at the time that much. So just go in it and enjoy it. And at the end, I'll cue us down into a bit of a yoga nidra, just to chill down for a few minutes and just sit with your experience. And then we'll come back and chat and share. So get comfy. I'm going to play some music while we're going, and you're just going to hear my voice and the music. So if you want to turn your camera off, you can. Oh, and I should probably add, if you want to put your blanket over you and take your top off or your bra off, that's a really nice way to do it. If you want to do it over your clothes, that's nice too. There's no oil or anything specific needed, no technique. You're just going to be exploring, but it can be really nice. I found that when I first started doing this, I was like, oh, I don't need my top off, but actually it can be really nice. And it gets you into the mode of, I'm here with me and this is my time. So just make sure you're not going to be disturbed. And if you want to turn the lights down as well, feel free to turn the lights down. So can you hear the music? Can someone just let me know if you can hear that music? Brilliant. Okay. Thank you, Kate. So just starting to get comfortable. So just adjust yourself into a comfortable, relaxed position. Being under a blanket or something really nourishing. You want to take this time to really allow yourself to nourish you. So as you get comfortable, starting to allow your breath to get deeper and deeper. Just finding yourself letting go, however you're sat. Try and make sure you're propping yourself or lying down in a comfortable position. Allow your head to fall back but be supported. Relax your legs. Maybe leaning recline, like leaning back in a chair, or lying on the floor can be really nice. Sometimes sitting up can actually be a little bit easier. So lying in the bed propped up with pillows, because you're going to have your arms, you're going to be using your arms and your hands for this breath meditation. Starting to breathe deeply and just noticing the rise and fall of your chest as you breathe in and out. So start to bring your awareness to your heart space. Notice that as you breathe in and out, your breaths also are moving up and down. And just notice how that makes you feel as you're noticing your breathing. If your mind is wandering, that's perfectly normal. That's what minds do. Just see if you can bring it back to your breath, back to your breasts, breathing deeply into your belly. And noticing what the movement of your chest does to your breasts. Can you feel that your breasts melt into your heart space as you let your heart space be soft and open? So imagining your heart space is open, full of beautiful green light. And that your breasts are getting some of that light as your chakra shines and fills your aura, your breasts, and the aura in front and behind your heart space. So your breasts are relaxed. And just bring your mind's eye to your breasts and see what you're feeling without touching them first. How does the blanket feel over your breasts? How do your hands feel? Just relaxing down by your side or on your tummy. How do your clothes feel against your breasts? Seeing if you can take as much notice of what's going on in your breasts, your chest, as you can. So does the blanket move as you breathe in and out? Is it glancing across your breasts? Is there one part of your breast that you notice more than anywhere else? Perhaps you notice an area where the blanket is moving. Perhaps you notice this more than anywhere else. Just being present with what is. Even if you're not feeling anything, be present with that. Seeing if we can not let our mind get involved. Can you just allow your experience to be right here and now? And then starting to bring your hands gently to your breasts, starting just by cupping them. So you could take your arms across, so crossed over, if that's easier, so that your opposite hand holds your opposite breast, or just your left hand on your left breast, right hand on your right breast. And just start there, just holding them, nourishing yourself. Just notice what comes to your mind, if any stories come up or any thoughts as you're holding your breasts. It's a very vulnerable area for us. It can be very sensitive or very numb. And whatever is your experience is exactly the perfect experience for you right now. By witnessing whatever is, that is the gem of the experience here. So do you feel anything as your hands are cupping your breast? Do you feel supported? Do you feel like you're giving yourself a hug, or does it just feel alien? Whatever you feel, just be with that. Noticing the sensations under your hands, around your hands. Do your breasts feel warm or cold? Do they feel soft or firm or silky? Sometimes we can not even be aware or not have taken note of how soft our skin is. So explore your skin. And just starting to allow your hands to move intuitively. So maybe you start to squeeze your boobs a little bit, just gently with your fingers. You move your hands a little bit up and down. Maybe starting to stroke the side of your breasts. You're going to really start to move with our hands now, and just let your mind not worry about what you're doing, but just exploring, looking for sensation within your breasts. Looking for sensation and looking for no sensation. So you're just trying to explore, explore what is. So maybe you can start to softly touch the side or the inner part of your breast. Maybe you're stroking, maybe you're still just holding. Maybe using your fingers or your nails, your palm. Just trying to start to let the movement be non-mind led. So although I'm cueing you a little bit, just giving you some ideas to start you moving. But if you can, just let that be just for you. Just let your body tell you what it wants to feel. And if you find something that feels really good, go with that. Explore that a little bit more. Maybe the back of your hand across your nipples feels good. Or your fingernails down the side of your boobs. Maybe your hands up to the top of your chest, above your breasts. Circles or zigzags or cupping, tapping. All of these things can feel lovely, and each person's experience is different. So just moving and trying to be as present as you can with your breaths. Just allowing your hands to keep moving, keep coming back to your breaths. If your mind wanders off, come back to your breaths, back to your breath. Notice if your breath changes, if your breath gets shorter or deeper as you move from part to part of your breath. Maybe there's an area that you don't feel anything. Maybe there's somewhere that feels really yummy, and you just choose where you linger. Maybe you stay in one spot the whole time. And just noticing if anything arises, any stories or thoughts, and then just come back to your breaths, back to your exploration. Breathing in and out. Allowing yourself to be playful with yourself. And know this is totally time for you. This is all about you. The more we witness and explore what is, even if it's no sensation, the more we encourage feeling and sensation to return to places that it's not. Maybe you're exploring, stroking down your breasts to your belly or upwards, running circles, soft little pinches, or just holding, or such absolute delicate touch. Let your body lead you. Let your breasts lead you. Let your exploration of feeling lead you. Just keep coming back to your breaths, back to your presence, and just noticing how you're feeling. Whatever that is, not pushing away any feelings that you don't want to feel, any agitation, any upset, any boredom, anything that's there. Just watch it, be present with it, welcome it. The fact that you're noticing is everything. Present with yourself. As though your breaths are telling you the best story ever. If you've been moving fast, maybe slowing down. If you've been going slow, maybe you find more tempo. Maybe you stop. Maybe you just want to lie and hold your breaths. Whatever you're inclined to do, allow it to be an exploration of what your body wants, what your breasts want, what you want, just for you. Keep going back to your breasts, to your deep breaths. So that softening of your body as it welcomes you in. You're telling your body, I love you. Giving it the time and the attention that it craves. Allowing those feeling pathways to be reopened. Just by your intention to be present with yourself and with what is. Exploring what feels good, what feels relaxing. Exploring places that you don't feel anything. Instead of ignoring them, going into them, press into those places further. That's how we find feeling again. By just accepting that there's no feeling there, but being present with it. Explore that a little deeper. How far does that go? Is there really no sensation at all? And in the areas where you feel most sensitive, how does that feel? What's that sensitive feeling like? And just taking another deep breath and allowing yourself now to come to a place where you're cupping your breaths with your hands, giving yourself a hug. And we're going to start from our crown chakra and just allow light, a bright white light, to come in through the crown of your head, wherever you lay, cupping your breasts. Just noticing how you feel, but allowing the light to shine on through your crown chakra, connecting you to the heavens, allowing this feeling to go even further than your physical body. And clear our core channel so that this beautiful energy, this presence with ourselves, will be spread all around our body. And focusing on your third eye, a beautiful indigo light. At your third eye, shining bright, the light streaming in. You have the white light from your crown meeting the indigo light at your third eye, down to a blue light at your throat chakra. As that orb, that energy center, shines and circles and spins brightly. Down to your heart space, the beautiful soft green of nature. your feeling center, your place of love, the beautiful breasts in front of it, acting as a barrier, a buffer, the receptor for love. You just given yourself love in this meditation, noticing how brightly that green light spins now. Moving down to your solar plexus and the bright yellow ball of light spinning here at your belly. Balancing, opening, recalibrating your central channel so all of your energy flows freely down to your sacral chakra, but just below your belly button. Deep orange color of your sacral sexual energy. Glowing as you've nourished it through your breasts. And then our last or first chakra here, and our root chakra, deep earthy browns and reds, and your connection with Mother Earth. You feel that channel opening with those beautiful earthy colors. And this energy that you've cultivated from your breasts, shining up to the heavens and down to the earth, bringing you into your true light, your true wild state as a conduit between heaven and earth. It's a beautiful place to be as a human, a soul having a human experience, wide open, energy flowing, loving yourself. Just breathing in, feeling the energy going down your spine to your earth chakra and all the way back up as you breathe out to the heavens, just breathing in and out like that a couple of times. Feeling the energy flowing all the way through your spine. Feeling clear and sensitive. Feeling that love that is you. Feel how open your heart space feels. And just give yourself one big hug. Maybe bringing your knees into chest or putting your arms around you. Just bringing yourself slowly up, back to a seated position. Just noticing how you feel and moving softly and mindfully with yourself. So just joining us in your own time on the camera. So ladies, I hope you enjoyed that. Just a little into that. You can do that for much, much longer. It's often a 40-minute practice, so really a big whammy practice. But it can be done in shorter, obviously shorter method. It can be done for as long as you want to. It can be done for 5 minutes if you just want to sit with yourself. But I'd love to hear how you found that. So I had on the slides. So I'm just going to share this. Oh, I've gone on to it and not shared it, of course. Share this with you. So some of the questions. So how sensitive or numb do you feel physically and emotionally? And I'll share these as journaling things. This might be really nice for you to journal after. What's your relationship with your breaths? And what was your experience of the practice? How do you feel now? So I'm going to come off this. I'll prompt you. but just really just a sharing of anything you want to share about your experience with feeling or the practice. So who wants to go first?
This is quite nice, really. It's nice to that kind of feeling.
Yeah. Was it physically nice or emotionally nice or both? What can you explain how nice
physically nice, I think, just to have a bit of a self pleasure.
Good. Yeah, that's really good.
Feeling nice and
yeah,
just calm, really, and just nice.
Good, lovely. It can be very calming. Yeah, and it's good to celebrate self-pleasure. It's somewhat of a taboo, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And it shouldn't be a taboo. The taboo is really, I think, whenever that came around years and years ago, when we shut off women's right to feel pleasure, and that's our power, right? It's our power that we feel so much. So being told we're too emotional and that women's pleasure isn't important has really, really damaged most of us in some way. But it's something we can bounce back from. And the more that we talk about pleasure and self-pleasure and self-love, the more that becomes a norm in our everyday for ourselves as well. And we can share with each other things that work. It's beautiful. It's a really lovely way to bond with in sisterhood. So did you feel that anything came up for you emotionally? Did everywhere feel sensitive or?
So it just felt nice, I think.
Good.
Just felt this.
You just enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Good. Lovely. And it's a really nice start as well for self-pleasure practice. So in the residential and some of the other things I'm going to do when we go a bit deeper, this is how we start with Jade Egg. This is how we start with other explorations of our body. We start with our boobs. It's always the way in. So it can be a really nice way to get a self-pleasure practice going.
Yeah.
Even if it's just getting out the shower and putting oil. So I also teach a breast massage. So that's something that a lot of women come to learn as a feminine art, and that's something that could be done every day, and that really helps balance hormones as well. So our breasts are really powerful.
Yeah. And actually, it's funny because Dottie is scratched at the door, but she's been on my lap. She's been absolutely flat out.
Oh, I bet, because you're chill.
Yeah, she's been just like snoring.
Oh, bless her. Thank you for sharing, Sue.
You're welcome.
Who wants to go next? Susie, do you want to go? You're next in my circle at the moment. Oh, I can't hear you again. I don't know what's going on with your sound today. Sorry.
Oh. No.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear me.
Yeah.
I just felt a bit numb, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you feel anywhere that was particularly numb, or was there a differing level of that, or was it did you just feel nothing?
I didn't really feel anything.
And how did that make you feel emotionally?
I don't know, really. A bit lost, sad.
Yeah, and that's really normal. This is a starting point for sure in that way, and it can feel painful to realize and notice that, and feel a bit disorientating. But you've noticed, so although you're not feeling anything, you have just brought your attention to that, and that's really powerful. So although if you don't feel something, whilst your hands are there and while your mind is on the focus of the meditation, which is your breasts, you are bringing feeling back. That's like one step on the path to feeling there for sure. Was there any stories or anything come up? Did anything kind of feel in another way?
I think I think I've felt like that for a while, and I've known that I've not had much sensation, and it's been probably since breastfeeding. And just feels weird. It doesn't feel normal anymore, if that makes sense.
And so did it feel even uncomfortable just to hold your breasts
to start with? Yeah.
You managed to get into it a little bit.
Yeah. And I have sensation like when you said to like stroke your tummy.
So that's something for me that I started doing. Oh, we've lost you again. There you go. Yeah, we can hear you again now. Yes, I think it can be funny how it can literally just be like, well, no, nothing here. So use that to get into the feeling. That was my way in as well. I used to not feel anything. And I used to use the sides of my body and my tummy to kind of go, oh, I feel, like really explore into that. So it could be something you do every day just for a couple of minutes on your own. But like, where does the feeling stop? And what is that? What is that? Is it a void? Is it numbness? Is it a little feeling? Really kind of really try and hone in on it. And if you can, just be okay with that. Just sit with that, because it is really uncomfortable. It is upsetting, and that's fine. Of course it is. But sitting with how you feel will open the door, like I promise you, it really does. So just to notice is a massive step, and sit with that. And did you manage to carry on? Did you just carry on doing it? Yeah, so that's amazing. To sit with that and just know and continue is remarkable. So, and just note how you feel. This could be a really lovely thing to journal about as well.
I think just sort of in general, I've for a long time just felt completely numb with life as a whole. I don't feel like I have any highs and lows of emotion. It's all just on one level. Okay. And when you were doing that, then you kind of faced with that, aren't you, I suppose, because it's like, oh, all I'm going to do is feel, and all of a sudden it's in your face. Okay, thank you for sharing. Who wants to go next?
We were jumping to.
Don't all jump at once.
Don't all jump at once. Shall I go next?
Go on, Kate.
What do I feel? I think it's how I feel quite numb. I don't know if I completely feel numb or I don't want to feel anything. Therefore, I'm not allowing myself to.
Interesting.
I think that's a bit how I am. So I can sort of like above my boobs, that feels like a bit tickly. But on my boobs, it's like, no, nothing. Apart from the ends of my nipples, which the last week have been absolutely painful. I don't know why. It's not like a feeling, just even like putting a bra on really hurts. Don't know what that is, but yeah.
Did you find that, do you think the numbness is not, is varying, or is just constant, or did it change?
Like just sort of a nothingness.
And did you carry on doing it?
It's not that it feels horrible, it's sort of quite, I suppose it felt quite relaxing by the end, sort of relaxing, but
And did any emotions or anything come up?
No, I don't think so.
And what about how you were feeling all the way through? Did that change?
Well, I think I was just trying to start off with, I was just like, I don't want to feel anything. So I'm trying to acknowledge the fact that I don't want to feel anything.
Yeah, that's very powerful. I think that's really insightful, because it can be so, basically our mind is so powerful, isn't it? whether it's you choosing not to want to, or whether you just haven't been able to deal with that, you know, things going on, whatever it is, we can literally make our body stop feeling.
Yeah.
The beauty of that is we can also make it start feeling again. It goes both ways. So actually it's a good thing, because it means that you've got the ability to reverse it. And it's just taking this time to sit with yourself and exploring that numbness, or what is it that you're, you know, how am I stopping myself not feeling, and letting that tell you stories. It might be that you realize why. Sometimes you can do this. It's different for me every single time. Sometimes I might have a story come up. Sometimes I'm not really that bothered about anything, and I just can chill there. Sometimes, like, if you can notice, I'm actually not wanting to feel anything. What does that feel like? Just sit with that. Right there is powerful, because you've gone from ignoring that you're not wanting to feel anything to all of a sudden being very present. And that changes everything. It's the same with numbness. It's like, you know, there's numbness there, but if you're not looking at it, it's like, oh, here, and I'll look this way. But if you look at it, you're bringing that presence, and where your presence goes, your energy is going to flow. So your sensations and physical feeling like will come back. This is definitely something to repeat. I can share this meditation. I'm obviously going to share this on here, but I'll put the meditation on separately so that you guys can do it whenever you want to. You could do it for longer or shorter, or just sit with yourself. But yeah, something really, especially when we're dealing with numbness, this is a really, really good one, really big one, because things will change with your boobs. If you do this regularly, you'll feel more and more. And this is such a way into our heart and our traumas and our things that are stopping us wanting to feel.
Listen, I'm really sorry, I'm going to have to duck out.
Okay. Okay, yeah, we've only got a few more minutes left.
Yeah, so I'm going to say, lovely to see you all.
Thanks, Sue.
Bye.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye. So Anthea, last but not least.
I think like Kate and Susie, I didn't feel anything. Just numbness. And then I got a 3-year-old that's trying to sabotage the last minutes of the session.
Yeah, that's not easy, is it?
Yeah, but
did you carry on doing it?
Yeah. Carried on doing it, but I knew from before we even started that I wouldn't feel anything anyway.
Yeah.
I wanted to feel pleasure. I know I've felt pleasure from, in the past, but like for the years I've not felt no pleasure from, at all. Shema. Yeah. Yeah, I can't go into what I was gonna.
It's okay.
Because he's so. Hang on, is he coming or going? I'm gonna come in a bit.
Bless. He joins in yoga sometimes, like your little boy Kate. Yeah. Oh, like all of your children have done yoga with me. It's fabulous. So I think what just touched on a point that was really interesting. So we can already know that we're not going to feel anything. That's really key, isn't it? So even if we just notice that we're already telling ourselves we're not going to feel anything. And I know that we probably know we aren't, but we also want to feel pleasure. So we've gone there from, I know I'm not going to feel anything and I want to feel this. And so then the distance isn't actually what we're feeling. It's what we know we're going to feel, mind made, and what we want to feel, again, mind made. So I think if we can just take those things, throw them away, and if we can just really sit with what is. So this is a really good practice, because it's not complicated. We're not doing lots of things. We're not having to listen to complicated guiding. to really be with what is. So I really, really encourage you to do it again, even if it's just for 10 minutes this week, and as often as you can, obviously going forward. But if you can, think about seeing if you can let go of whether you will or won't have any feeling, and just be there, because often our mind is obviously what's blocking that we're feeling anything. And so whether we think we want to feel something and we know we're not going to, those are two blocks. So
yeah, but one of the reasons, because why I said I wasn't going to feel anything, it was just ironic, because as I said, my son was coming in because I couldn't really talk about it, is when you like start to introduce what we was going to do, all that was in my mind. This 7 weeks course has been just amazing. There's been so many things that have happened, but when you start to talk about what we was doing, I don't know if I'm going mad or whatever, but I've been having dreams, and it's as if I dreamt this already.
Wow.
Not yeah, and I dreamt it was a horrible dream. It was a really nasty dream I had last week, and it was I wouldn't even go. It's like a horror movie. What the part of it was, the end part of it was my breasts.
Yeah.
And it's like my breasts just didn't look like, there was like, my breast didn't look right. It didn't look normal. It was like there was things coming out of my breast or whatever. It just looked horrible. And somebody gave me, somebody at work, and I was numb inside, and there was no emotion in my eyes. And she gave me this thing to massage over my breast.
Wow.
Right. So it's like when you started it kind of, and you started about, about traumas and heart and feelings and stuff like that. All I could think about was this dream that I'd had last week.
Wow.
And that's why I just felt like this is probably what he's saying about, all of these things that are centered around that area, and all of those things that are inside. To answer it, I'll tell my mum after, because I told my mum like the next one, like, Mum, I had this, because she's a dreamer. Like, Mum, I had this dream and I don't understand what it means and whatever. So when you started talking, I was like, I understand my dream.
Very much so, because that's so true about all the things coming out. You think that this is your almost like your portal into your heart.
Yeah, and then she gave me this thing, and she said, it will heal it, it will heal your breast. And I was rubbing this ointment on my breast, and it said it will heal it.
Wow. Well, the breast massage is about rubbing oil into your boobs. So wow.
Yeah, I was like, oh my, I was just sitting here, getting emotional. I was thinking, this is crazy.
Wow. That's amazing. So connected. And that you're so deep into what you're doing as well, which is really admirable. So that's really good that you're really, really present. You're really committed. You're basically, even your dreams are taking part in what you're doing at the moment, your transformation. So it's really good. Keep writing them down. Keep writing in your journal what your dreams are saying. So it's really powerful. They can give you big messages. It's obviously telling you to do more.
Are. Recently,
And breast can be a really big way in. As I said, I never thought that was going to be anything until I started doing it, and it really, really changed things for me. So this is definitely something to be repeating. So thank you all. And obviously anything in terms of numbness, we can talk about when we do our one-to-one, and we can talk about on Sunday as well. Some of that is going to be about a little bit more into feeling. So I think I had one more slide. Let me share this with you. And I'll let you all go. I realise we're running over. So homework for this week is to try and practice one of the practices every day and journal how you feel. I'm just going to pop the light on. That is blinding. So finding your practices, and if you can do one a day, maybe you're already doing more than that, and that's great. And obviously I'll share this on the network. If you can do a mini breast meditation again, or the full one, I'll share that as a meditation separately so you can access that easily. And gathering old magazines for this weekend. So we're going to do some really fun stuff here this weekend before we swim in the afternoon. I'm going to share a Tantra yoga session, and I said about the Yoga Nidra on the network. And also just to know, if you can pop in the network this week, what practices you are doing each day. I think that'd be a really nice way to be doing this week. So even if it's just a minute of just popping your practices down, I'll start a feed, like a topic, so that you can put them all on there. But if you want to share what you're doing, that could be a really nice way to kind of remember what we've covered and share and find ideas from other people about what they're doing. So somebody might be saying, oh, I'm doing this every day, and you think, oh, that's a really good idea. So just seeing how you get on with the practices so far. So I will see you Sunday at 10 a.m. As I said, I'm going to share the yoga session for you to do anytime. We couldn't get a time this week when everybody was going to be together again. I know that's asking quite a lot with Sunday as well. So it was going to be a yoga session with a Yoga Nidra. So I'll put those on there as sessions for you to do whenever you want to. And then they're on there already anyway. So thank you very much. I apologize for running over by a few minutes. Thank you very much for your sharing and for attending. And I hope you feel great. Do your journaling about how you feel, and maybe pick a few of those sleep ritual things out. We'll talk more about how our sleep rituals are going on Sunday, but seeing if you can pick maybe 5 of those things to start practicing that are really easy for you, that you can implement into your life, and see how you get on. Lots of ideas there.
Kids round to yours.
Pardon?
Can I send the kids round to yours?
Yeah, I was going to say.
That could be one of them, couldn't it?
Now.
Yeah. I could do a crash.
Well, I'm doing a crash at mine on Thursday because my sister's 2 girls are coming over.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why I thought that was going to be a good idea.
Yeah, that doesn't, well, hopefully that means you can switch back, right?
We'll be switching. Yeah, she's going to have.
There you go. Or you can get planning what you're going to do on your evening off.
Yeah.
Do you think they would sleep here, Susie? Do you think they would sleep?
Well,
if you give it a whirl.
So
Susie won't mind. If they're at yours, it doesn't matter whether they sleep. It's your problem.
She's like, I don't know. I don't really care. What does it matter?
Yeah, I mean, they will. I'm sure
they will. It's like they, yeah, they will.
Yeah, no
problem.
Kids are usually good for other people, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
They do
that
what
happens.
Yeah.
You remember? I remember when they did stay at my mum's when I was living there, and they slept in bed with me, and they slept in and they slept all night, didn't they? And I went in the morning, and when Nick and Sue came over to come and join us for breakfast, and we were all still in bed, and it was like what? Right. It was like 8:30 or 9 o'clock or something, and you were like, what? Like, yeah, they're just chilling in bed.
Like what?
Because it's novel.
They like to do it on purpose.
That never happens.
No, it's like the novelty, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we'll guinea pig with Susie's children, and then we can start the Susie's crash here. I'm not sure Sean's going to be very pleased about this. What is going on? What have you volunteered for? Okay, well, lovely to see you
Sunday.
You too.
Yeah, see you on Sunday. Can't wait.
See you Sunday. Bye.
Bye. Lots of love. Bye.
Bye.